So the first thing that attracted the crowds was the miracle of this so-called speaking with other tongues. And then the other thing that happened was this, that it's the words when Peter began to preach. His preaching, and he was preaching, come on, he was evangelizing. And the thing which drew the people was what he said. He said, what you're seeing, what you're witnessing is the fulfillment of the prophecies you know. So God does two things here. The first thing that he's doing is amazing the people by the miracle of the speaking with tongues. And then he's amazing the people with the fact that they were seeing the literal fulfillment of Jewish prophecy. Remember, these are Jews. This is the feast. These were Jews come up to the temple, come up to Jerusalem, and they are amazed at the revelation of the fulfillment of prophecy. And you know, so often this happens in the life of Jesus, where it says in the scripture, Jesus did so and so, in order that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets. And everything we have in the church was the fulfillment of prophecy from the Old Testament. From the birth of Christ to the death, to the resurrection, and to the outpouring of Pentecost. And I want you to realize that today we're living in a church age. And, you know, people like to talk about prophecy. People want me to talk about prophecy. They want to read books on prophecy. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The church itself and the ministry of Jesus, his birth, his resurrection, the miracles, and what happened here was the clear fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And so the church must not be simply a symbol of the old. And when I look at so many sections of established churches, I don't see the New Testament, I see the Old Testament, and not the fulfillment of prophecy. And what we have to be literally in our worship, in our living, in our preaching, and me in my evangelism, I have to be fulfilling the prophecy of the Scripture. And here, because it's quite clear, what Peter says. He says, Joel said that he would pour out his spirit on all, that God would pour out his spirit on all flesh. Now we need to see that today. We need literally to see the outpouring of the Spirit of God on all flesh. And that comes with the signs that it says your daughters will prophesy, your young men will see visions, your old men will dream dreams. I can tell you this, I might be old, but I'm not dreaming. I'm still seeing the visions. Because you often catch me saying that it seems we've got it the other way around. The young men are dreaming, and it's the old men like me that have the vision. But that's not how the Scripture put it. But Joel quite clearly said that God would show wonders in heaven and signs on the earth, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. So the church was to be born into an age of the miraculous, and I believe that it's God's intention it lives through the miraculous, and that it is only the miraculous that will really convict the ungodly. If you look at verse 22, men of Israel hear these words, Jesus of Nazareth. How does Peter describe Jesus? Now, come on. He said, first of all, Jesus of Nazareth, because Jesus was quite a common name. It's the New Testament version of Joshua. But it's not just this. He's not just saying here Jesus. He says Jesus of Nazareth. But the difference being that this man is approved of God by miracles and wonders and signs which God did by him. So even though we actually look at Jesus working the miracles, Jesus healed the sick, he raised the dead, he gave sight to the blind. Yes, but here the amazing thing is prophetically, according to verse 22, and man approved of God by miracles and signs and wonders which God did by him. Now, I want you to note that, because I've never preached on this before. I've never spoken like this before. The emphasis is that Jesus had given up his heavenly authority, was to live as a man, and so it became clear evidence that God did these miracles through his son Jesus. And now what we get is the fact that God is really saying, God will do the miracles through us.